Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Variable Action Heroes DX one-piece PORTGAS D Ace. Now this is DX because it's a giant version of the regular Variable Action Heroes figure. It's not just an upscaled version though, it's a new mold pretty much entirely. As far as I can tell, it is completely new stuff, so that's pretty cool. In most cases, however, there are a few things on this figure that are just atrociously bad, which is very strange, and some things that are just exceptionally good, so you're going to have to decide for yourself if you like it, but I'm going to point out all of the good and all of the bad. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand so that we can take a closer look. This guy stands just above 9 inches tall, which makes him just about 22 centimeters, give or take a little bit here or there. He's not perfectly standing up straight, but I think that's how most people probably have him stand up straight anyway. It's a pretty cool figure. There are some issues that are seriously issues on this guy, though. It's very, very disappointing in some regards. And like I said, in other ways, it's pretty cool. One thing they did pretty well with is the skin tone and shading. It looks really nice for the most part. They might have gone a little overboard with the shading here and there, but generally speaking, it looks good. It's a nice flat paint job. Looks nice. I do have some issues, though. One is that the elbow is an entirely different color, and it's shiny, so that's not good. And the same thing is true of the entire butterfly joint area. It's a really nice design right there. You have, well, I'll go through it when I hit the articulation, but that's so drastically different than the rest of the figure. It does not look good at all. So that's definitely a problem. The rest of the paint job, pretty good. I like the detailed stuff, like you can see the Ace tattoo there, the Whitebeard tattoo on the back there, the shading throughout the shorts. These little guys aren't, well, I mean, there's a little bit of paint on there, but they're separate pieces, but they look nice. The elbow pad looks nice. The belt looks good. The strap and pouch. This thing right here, which is technically an accessory since it's not on them in the package, but that's done well. I mean, it just looks really, really good otherwise, so that's nice. Now, we do have mostly a good sculpt. You can see throughout the whole figure it's pretty nice, except for the upper arm. What the heck happened here? I don't know. I've never seen anything sculpted so anatomically incorrectly in my life. The biceps are going this way, from like the outside to the inside, which is not how the bicep works at all. It inserts all the way over here, so it should be going the other way completely. And that wouldn't be so bad, except for the fact that when you put his arms straight, the bicep wraps around to the outside, which just looks weird. And then the triceps are like these two weird little lumps that don't even look like triceps at all. And they go all the way around to the inside of the arm. And on this side, this is where it's really a problem. On this side, you can kind of let it go because it doesn't really matter too much. But, oh God, it's so bad. Okay, so on this side, when you put the arm straight, like so that you can use the elbow joint, the biceps over here, look at that. The tattoo's not even right. They put the tattoo on one of the tricep muscles all the way over on the back. It's just such a weird, goofy sculpt, and it kills the paint job on this side too. It's so weird. In order to make it look normal from the front, you have to rotate the arms around, and then the hinges point in. It's just totally not right at all. It's an absolutely messed up sculpt, so that's a huge, huge, huge problem. But the rest of it's pretty good other than loose joints. So let's go ahead and talk about the accessories. We have 5 different faces. We have the face that comes on him in the package where he's smiling with his mouth pretty wide open. We have one head where he's smirking, one where he's smiling with his teeth showing and his eyes closed, one where he looks kind of angry and looking off to the side, and then one where he's crying. So plenty of options there. We have a few different hands. We have the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package, 2 pointing finger hands, 2 double pointing finger hands, and then 2 relaxed hands. Only downside for the hands is that the fingernails are actually painted kind of a weird color, so it looks a little strange. We do have his hat and an alternate hair piece, which allows it to go on his head. The hat's okay. The hat itself is done really nicely, but it doesn't let you put it on him because they show on the box. Let me show you. On the box, they show the hat. There it is. They show the hat laying underneath the necklace, right? So the necklace lifts up and the hat just lays there. Here's the problem. On the figure itself, the necklace is actually connected to the figure. Like, what? How did they screw that up? There's a tab here and a tab here that don't allow you to remove it. Now, I forced this one open, but you can see the tab, and you can see that it was glued. So you can't lift the necklace up to hang the hat there. So you cannot put his hat around his neck unless you're going to have the strap of it up above the necklace, which is not what you're supposed to do. So that's a pretty serious issue. I don't know how they managed to screw that up, but they did. All right, so we have those accessories, and then we have a bunch of fire accessories, and I'll start with the largest ones. We have 2 that clip onto his back, and that looks really, really cool. They kind of tuck in underneath the necklace and just kind of sit there. And all of the fire accessories, by the way, very, very nice. They're super translucent, really saturated, very, very well done. Nice finish on them, too. Then we have 2 that are just interchangeable hands for him. So you have a left and a right hand that just totally engulfed in flames. We have 2 that just kind of clip on. And then we have 2 where you can put his double finger gun thingy hands in the flame so that looks like he's going to shoot his bullets. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, we have a really terrible display stand that you kind of have to build yourself with the parts that they give you, and it's just really ugly, and it's barely enough. It's just really going to support him a little bit, so pretty much not worth using at all. Okay, so on to the figure. What kind of articulation do we have for the neck? Let's pop the face off so that we can see. So we have a ball hinge inside the lower part of the top part of the neck, the lower part of the head articulation, and then a ball peg on top of that. So that's good. That ball peg saves the day. We really didn't need the ball hinge down there. That makes it problematic. It should have just been another ball peg, but at least we have the one up there. And then the neck itself is on a ball peg, so it's okay. I don't get why these companies keep using ball hinges for necks. It's not a good design. Not at all, in fact. But it's okay. I mean, having the ball peg on there kind of saves it. For the butterfly joint, it's on a ball peg actually, so you can move the entire thing around, but it has really good lateral movement. And then we have the vertical movement also. So that's really good, and it's not super loose or anything, so that's fine. It's just that it has that weird sheen to it, which doesn't look good. But otherwise, really, really good engineering. And then, of course, for the shoulder, we have our ball hinge, which works no problem. And so, of course, we have our full rotation. We do have the bicep swivel, if you want to call it that, because of this weird anatomy that I can't quite figure out what's what. We have our double jointed elbow, which works really nicely. Really no problems there at all. And then for the wrists, these guys are just floating pieces, so they'll move out of the way. You have a really nice ball hinge for the wrist. For the torso, I don't know if it's a double or a single. It feels like a single for the upper torso, which works nicely. It feels like a single for the lower torso, which works nicely. And then for the second lower torso, I think it's another single ball peg, because this bottom part moves around too. So you really shouldn't have too much trouble posing his torso around. You may have trouble getting them all to line up properly, anatomically speaking, but that'll just take a second of patience. So that's pretty good. This guy's on a ball peg, so you can just remove it if you want to or move it around. The hips, they connect on a hinged peg. So instead of having a ball peg, they actually have another hinge down here, so that you just want to peg in there, and then you have your hinge. It doesn't give you that much range, though, which is pretty unfortunate. And the hinge part, this guy being a hinge, doesn't really serve a purpose, because it only lets a leg fit in there when it's already down. If it's up, you can't, it's recessed, so that's not a very good design choice. Can't really do much with that. You can bring the legs pretty far forward, I guess. The problem is it kicks the leg off at an angle. Luckily, the thigh can rotate inside the pants. So it's okay. It's not bad, but the thigh is pretty flaccid. That's not good. It's nice that they have a ball peg in there in terms of design, but execution, it's not good that it's floppy. So that's a problem for sure. You do get a thigh swivel in there, but it's pretty limited. So you're going to really want to just use this for your thigh swivel, which would be okay if it wasn't so floppy. Double jointed knee works pretty nicely, though it has a giant gap in there, which is really just terrible design. And the knees are also very glossy, not painted, so that's not good either. For the boot, we have a shin swivel at the top of the boot, and then I believe it's just a ball peg, maybe a double, but a ball peg for the ankle. So you get pretty good range out of that. Nothing particularly good, but I guess it's good enough. I take it back. It's not pretty good. It's good enough. That's it. And then we have a ball peg for the toe hinge, which is pretty good. So I don't know, guys. I think I'm not real psyched on the line right now. Between the anatomy issues and the loose joints and the paint issues, I don't think I'm going to be getting another one of these unless it looks really, really good. I think I'll just stick with the regular Variable Action Heroes line, since the quality is just not up to snuff for this more expensive DX line. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it's not great. It's just barely good enough. So That'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.